Hello and welcome to Dawn Vibes Yoga. Today I'm going to be discussing 5 different methods of writing in a journal. So if you're like me and you buy a ton of different journals just because you think they're pretty and they're piling up, but you rarely write in them, or maybe you've started a journal practice and you stop after a couple of days, then hopefully this video will be a little bit inspiring for you. So before we get started, I do want to mention that if you have been following my channel, I kind of ghosted everybody for a really long time. I haven't really uploaded videos, but now I'm back on more of a consistent schedule, so I'm hoping to have more content coming at you shortly. So thank you for being patient. I appreciate that. The first method that I would like to talk to you guys about is writing everything that is good in your life. So a lot of times if you read like kids' diaries, normally they're complaining a lot, which we'll get to that in a little bit, but it's not very nice to come back to and read later. I found a couple of journals that I wrote when I was little, and I read through them and I'm like, this is really like repetitive and I don't really know why I kept it around for so long. So basically, if you think about your day at the end of the day and you write down every good thing that happened, or maybe even just keep your journal out on the table or carry it around with you in your bag, and anytime something nice happened, like maybe you saw a really pretty view when you went for a walk, or maybe somebody said something kind to you, write that down in your journal and date it. Then later, if you're having a bad day, you can go back to your journal and you can read all of the good things that have happened in your life, and it can just be a little bit more uplifting for you. So it can basically show you that, yeah, times are tough now, but look at all of these pleasant things that have happened in my life. And you'll understand that good times come and bad times come, and good times go and good times go, and that's just the natural flow of life. And you won't feel like you're in such a slump by reading those nice things in your journal. The second method is complaining. So if you write negative things in your journal, you may not want to go back and read them, but it can be somewhere that you can just throw all of your venting, all of your anger, all of your frustration in, and just kind of keep it close and hide it away for those times where you're just in high stress. And this is actually a really good way of getting all of that negative energy out and onto paper instead of saying it to other people. Now, it's important to have people in your life that you can go to when you're struggling, people that can encourage you and help uplift you. But sometimes when people hear all of the negativity coming from you, their first instinct is to help you. And sometimes you don't actually need help with the problem. It's just something that you need to get off your chest. And if it's something like that, it might be better to just write it in a journal and make yourself feel better. So there's two ways that there's two different things that could possibly be going on when you're going through something that's negative or painful or stressful. And the first one is you're just uncomfortable in the situation, but it's not something that could possibly be changed. It's not something you have control over. And there's another situation where you're stuck and you just don't know what to do, but you feel like if you knew in that moment what you could do to change the situation, you could. In those situations where you have that mental block because you're just so frustrated, you can't, you can't think straight, that might be a better situation to go and talk to a friend about, because then you can get their insight because they're in a calm state and they're not clouded with the stress in their mind, all of the the mental fluctuations that are going on that you have, and they can kind of help you step back and see the bigger picture and come up with a plan from there. So if it's not that kind of situation, it's just something that's been bothering you, maybe you're angry at a particular person, write that down in your journal and just get it out of your system, and hopefully you can have a better day because you won't be carrying that on yourself anymore. The third method of writing in your journal is goal setting. So if you're a kind of person that has ideas for what you want to do with your job or your business, or if you want to budget better, you want to save up for something great, or if you just want to live a healthier lifestyle, sometimes it's easier to write it on paper so that you can stay focused because it's a tangible thing that you can look at and you can track how you're progressing instead of like a New Year's resolution, if you will, where you say on the first of the year, I want to go to the gym every single day. And then you get kind of burned out really fast. If you set manageable goals, like for example, I want to cook at home once a week, or every dinner will be a home cooked meal, and you slowly start that and you write down and you track it, you can see a better system for yourself. So for example, let's just break that down one more time. I said cooking at home. So if you try to cook dinner every single night, and you're noticing that you're only maybe managing that like 1 or 2 times, maybe start from there and reassess your goal and say, okay, well, I'm coming home from work really late, I'm having a hard time planning meals, and I just want something quickly. And then you can break down your goals a little bit further. So for example, you can say on Saturdays, I'll meal plan and I'll grocery shop so that it's so much easier when I come home to just easily cook what I've already planned. So goal setting is another really good method for writing in your journal. The fourth one I wanted to talk about is letters to the universe. So this could be a letter to God, a letter to a saint, a letter to a spiritual person that you look up to, or even like a letter to an ancestor, or maybe a letter to your best self. So what I mean by writing a letter to the universe is you can really write anything, and you're thinking of something that is like a divine power, something that is all-knowing and all-seeing. So if you're in a situation that you feel like you need more insight or to open your heart more, you can write a letter to this entity or this person. And sometimes just writing it down will help you figure out what you're trying to figure out yourself. And other times it can just be like a prayer. It can be like asking for insight to come to you. So those are my 4 methods of journaling. And you can take some and just write them in the same journal. Like for example, for me, sometimes I do the venting thing, sometimes I do goals, and sometimes I do happy things. So I'll do that all in the same journal. The other thing that you can do is you can have separate journals for each thing, or if there's one maybe or 2 methods that you really like, just practice that one method. You don't have to use all of them. I'm just giving you different ideas that you can work with so you can start to slowly develop a consistent practice for journaling. The last method, the 5th method that I would like to share with you is not my method. It's actually Michelle's method. She's my yoga teacher. She runs a studio called My Vinyasa Practice, and she runs her business out of Texas. So I'm going to show you guys on my journal how I set up this method. And this method is about deciding what you need in that very moment. So first you talk about, let me get a pen, I'm sorry. So first you talk to yourself about how you're feeling, and then you talk about what you need from that. And you're breaking up your paper into 4 different sections to represent the 4 energetic bodies. So I'm just going to put a line down the middle and a line across my paper. So I have 4 sections, and the energetic bodies we have are spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and spirit. I'm going to do that one more time because I think I said I was going to say something twice. Okay. Spiritual, physical, that's one I forgot. Okay. Spiritual, physical, intellectual, and emotional. So if you're going to break that down, I like to write feel right under mine. So I would do like, okay, here, we're going to write it down because I feel like I'm going to do a little bit better if I see it too. Okay, so physical one, I'm going to do how I'm feeling. So for example, I could do my neck hurts today. So neck pain. Okay, see that? And then I'm going to do what do I need. So if I assess that, if I feel like I'm having neck pain, what would I need? Maybe I need to do some stretches at my desk. So we'll do that. Stretches. So physical, spiritual, So maybe for my feel, maybe I feel spiritually disconnected. So we'll do disconnected. Maybe I'm really focused on what I got going on in my job. So I'm stressed out about money. So if I'm feeling disconnected from my spiritual self and I'm too stressed out about what's going on in the physical world, maybe I need to meditate or sit in prayer. I didn't spell meditate right. Don't look at it. So meditate or pray. So for intellectual, that's the next energetic body, intellectual. I would think about how I'm feeling. So maybe I feel a little foggy. Maybe I feel like I can't concentrate very well. So for my need, maybe I would try to sleep for 1 extra hour. So maybe I'm lacking sleep and that's why I'm having a hard time understanding what I'm reading or not focusing on an intellectual level. So I would say get an extra hour of sleep. So we've got physical, spiritual, intellectual, and the last one is emotional. So our next energetic body is emotional. And I would think about how I'm feeling. And maybe I'm feeling like I'm crying a lot lately. So maybe I cry frequently. And then I would have to figure out what I need from that. So in order to figure out what I need, I would have to figure out why I'm crying so much. And maybe it's because I feel really overwhelmed. And my need would be to journal what's bothering me. So that might be considered a venting method of journaling. So this is really helpful because it brings you into the present moment. And that's why I really love this method that Michelle shared with me and my classmates, which are not even in the same place as me, but it's something that we're all doing. And it's something that connects all of us. And part of yoga, the whole point of yoga is to be more connected to the universe, which includes your spirit and other people around you and nature. And so if that's something that's important to you and you'd like to have more yoga videos, then like and subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of videos about yoga off of the mat, and I talk about yoga philosophy and yoga history. Thank you so much for watching, and may you always be happy and free.